We begin on a very, very sad note this morning. 7 persons have died in an accident involving a VVIP and OA commercial buses. The incident, which occurred on the Odomasi-Konongo-Kumasi Road, also had several travelers sustaining various degrees of injury. Confirming the accident, the Motor Transport and Traffic Directorate Police Commander in the area, DSP Stephen Yeboah, said the injured have been referred to the Konongo Government Hospital and Stewart Hospital at Yakwao. Ohinteria is on the line. He joins us live with some more detail. What more information do you have about this accident, Ohimin? Hello, Ohimin, can you hear me? Ohimin is going to give us an update on that accident that we have been reporting. As we have said, it happened on the Boxing Day. That toll has risen to 7, and we have 47 injured victims currently on admission at the Stewart's Hospital, 5 in critical condition, we are told. We will re-establish contact with Ohimin and bring you the details of that unfortunate incident this Boxing Day. Now, according to the World Health Organization, an estimated 180,000 deaths every year are caused by burns. Majority of them occur in low and middle income countries, and these burns occur mainly in the home. Director, National Reconstructive Plastic Surgery and Burn Center at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, discloses that the center records an upsurge in cases during the festive season. To help reduce that number this year, he offers some prevention and safety tips. Pick up your pens and notebooks and take some notes.
Once we go into Christmas season, there's going to be a lot of celebration. There's going to be a lot of cooking. There's going to be a lot of people are going to play fireworks and things like that. So we just have to be careful. Now, for the cooking, for example, if you take the home, for instance, the kitchen is the commonest place where burns occur, followed by the bathroom. If you take the usual compound house, for instance, you find that there is no designated cooking area. So people have taken some corner in the compound, and then they've made a fire and they are cooking, and the children are also running around all over the place. There has to be a clear demarcation about for cooking area and play area, so that children don't find themselves in a situation where they stumble and they fall into soup and things like that, or they collide with somebody who's carrying something hot, and then there's the causes burns. So that's very, very key. And then women should be careful, exercise caution when they are cooking. And then one of the key causes of burns now is also the use of gas. Okay, previously, if you go back, let's say about 2006, thereabout, petroleum and gas accounted for just about 10-11% of our burns. Now it's accounting for about 36% of our burns, or our burn admissions, and 44% of the deaths from burns are from these sources. Now, when you're using gas is supposed to be used in a certain way. You're supposed to, where you even store the cylinder. Cylinders are not supposed to be stored inside. In other places they have piped gas. Here we use it with the gas in cylinders, and so these cylinders have got expiry dates. Okay, and these cylinders, they have valves which can become faulty, and so once you need to check the integrity of the valves. You need to check whether the cylinder is expired or not. Check the integrity of the valves. Positioning, you need to position them outside the home or outside, where there's free circulation. Many people, the cylinder is sitting indoors, and any little amount of gas that escapes, it expands to 250 times the original size. So you can easily see that a small quantity of gas that leaks can easily fill a room. Okay, and so even just by putting on a light switch, there's a spark in it, it can cause an explosion, or even talking on a mobile phone, or light in a match, or any of those things. So you need to be very, very extremely careful with gas. And then you have to switch on the match before you turn on the gas. Many people turn on the gas and then they forget. Maybe they get a call or somebody, they forget, and the gas fills the room, and then the time they come back, they light it. So you need to be sensitive. If you come indoors and you smell gas, don't switch on anything. Just open the doors, windows, let the gas escape, and then check the whether you shut it off or not, things like that. There are times that the cylinders, the valves get faulty. Instead of people replacing them, they will find that they've put a stone, on it and trying to, do all sorts of things. Those things are very dangerous and can lead to loss of life. Okay, so we have to be careful with the use of gas. The tubes need to be replaced. Every year or two, you need to replace the tubes because the tubes can get cracked and then leak. So all these are little things that, when we go and fill the gas cylinders, for instance, sometimes when the children are sent, then if it's an incline, then they roll the cylinder, then they see the cylinder rolling down the road or kind of thing, and it damages the integrity of the cylinder in the process. Okay, so generally we need to be cautious about handling petroleum and gas products. Sometimes people are making a fire, then the fire is not it's not raging like how they want, so they want to increase the intensity of the fire, so they try to pour petroleum on it, and then they get caught in an explosion. So there are so many scenarios and then handling of hot water. For instance, you want to go and bath, okay, you prepare boiling water. Okay, now you find many people walking to the bathroom with the boiling water, whereas what you should do is that you dilute it where you prepare the water, so that when you are transporting, in case you stumble or it spills, what is spilled is water that's at the temperature that's okay for bathing, so it doesn't cause burns. So you can look at the electrical burns, for instance. Precaution about switching off and switching on gadgets, making sure gadgets are serviced. If the gadget is smoking, don't keep using it. Get it serviced. And then, people running wires in all sorts of places, and then the wiring in most homes need to be checked. People think that if you wire a house, then it's a permanent thing. It doesn't last forever. The insulation can get cracked, frayed. And so then the wires start coming into contact. So you need to check the wiring of your house every 10 to 15 years. You need to have it checked. And if they are frayed and things may need to be replaced. The thing is that if you start with the right quality of wiring and adhere to the right standards ab initio, then it doesn't become a huge issue. But even if you had the right quality, those products have a certain lifespan. So you need to make sure that they are replaced at the time that they need to be replaced. Of course, things like chemicals. We use chemicals around the house, soda, acid, and things. But some of these chemicals should actually be restricted items. But over in this country, the laws are a bit lax, so or they are not enforced the way they should. So people can easily get access to some of these, and of course, when people get criminal intent, they can use it to harm others. Occasionally we see accidental injuries, but many times those chemical burns tend to be intentional. That's non-accidental, and so all these are some of the things that we can do to reduce. And then things like matches, for instance, lighters, we should keep them out of reach of children, and then don't store petroleum products in the house. You see, you go and buy petrol or fuel, and then you put it in a what do you call it, Sprite bottle, things like that, so or you keep it in the house. Even when we buy fuel, for instance, the gallon that is used to buy fuel, there's a specific containers that are used for petroleum products, and those tend to be metal containers, and they have a very tight sealing class at the top. But most of the time you find people using the Kufuor gallon or the ordinary gallon to and once you can smell the that means that it's leaking, and potentially it could cause an explosion. So I think that in this season of goodwill, and when we are celebrating the birth of Christ, and where there's we are wishing each other well, I think in our festivities we need to exercise caution and always be aware that burns could happen to anybody at any time, at any place. So let's exercise caution in all the things that we do, and I'm sure we'll be able to reduce the incidence of burns. The best first aid for burns is just applying water. Just cool the burns. Yes, just cool the burns with water. Just wash the area that's burned with clean water. Just wash as much as possible, and then depending on the severity, you come to the hospital where those who are trained to take care of these burns would treat you, because in many instances, if you're able to do the simple things well, many times.
Some safety tips for you this festive season.